coming out here because we get to check out all of the cool animals that they have. And this one is actually really cool because I haven't heard of one, and they're big. It's called a takin. So Brent, event coordinators or education coordinator, is going to tell us a little bit about the animals. It might be hard to see here, but they're really big, hard to miss. So what is a takin?
Yep, so you're not alone. A lot of people have never heard of a takin, don't know what they look like, and they're shocked when they come out here and see this giant animal roaming around. That is pretty exotic looking. Doesn't look like very many things. It kind of looks like a blend of a bunch of different hoofed animals. But yeah, it is a takin. It's specifically a Sichuan takin, so there's a few different subspecies. But yeah, it's just a very large, strong, powerful hoofed animal that originates from the China area, Asian mountainous regions. We have it here to educate people and to ideally help out with some population levels that are not doing too well in their natural habitat. So like I said, they originate in the area around China and the Asian areas, but specifically in some mountainous regions.
I was going to ask you that because they don't go anywhere for our North Dakota winters. They're here year round, so they must be able to tolerate some of those colder temperatures.
Yeah, they tolerate it just fine. So in their natural habitat, it gets just as cold there, so they can withstand it. They live in some pretty high elevations, pretty thick, I guess, tough terrain. So we know the populations aren't doing well, but the terrain is so difficult that it's pretty hard for people to actually get there and get a decent estimate on what the populations are. Very rough, high levels of elevation, bamboo thickets, dense vegetation. That's what they like to eat on.
So they like to eat a lot then. So it's not real mountainous. There still has to be some vegetation for them.
Yep, and they sort of maneuver up and down through those elevations depending on the time of year. So in the winter, they may move up a little bit because they can withstand the cooler weather, but in the summer, they might be able to move up and down. Yep.
So you have two takins here. What are their names?
Yes, so we have Dillinger and Gaston.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you where Dillinger got his name from, but Gaston is named after the Beauty and the Beast character.
I figured that one.
Yeah, so the fun fact about these animals is they modeled the Beast from Beauty and the Beast after a takin. Yeah, so if you come and visit and look at their face, they kind of have that similar face. So
I see it now.
Have to name them after that infamous character from Beauty and the Beast.
Okay, I was always wondering what beast he was. So lo and behold, a takin, I guess.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, now you mentioned a little bit about what they eat, but what do you guys feed them here at the zoo?
Yep, so their main source of nutrition comes from the hay we give them. So out in their natural habitat, a lot of vegetation, grasses, plants, leaves. They can actually get up on their two hind legs and eat leaves off of a tree. So you don't, I mean, they look big when they're on all fours, but when they get down on, or get up on their hind legs, that you're like, holy cow, they actually are much taller than I am and can eat those leaves off of the trees.
Now, if you see one of these in the wild, are they scary animals? Like, you probably want to keep your distance, I would assume, like everything else.
Yeah, I tell people any hoofed animal, large, small, you want to keep your distance, especially we have two males here. So if you come across a male hoofed animal, whether it's a takin, a white-tailed deer you might see in North Dakota, I mean, they can be sort of aggressive sometimes. So I recommend any hoofed animals. You see videos of people all the time that kind of think they can get close to an animal and it doesn't turn out well for them. So yeah, keeping your distance, respecting from afar is the best idea.
So last question then with the takins, being that there are two males in here, are they territorial then or not really?
We don't see any real territorial behavior. If there was a female in there with them, that may change. Every now and then they might spar, but not really in a super aggressive way. But yeah, nothing like that so far. So yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're a cool animal. And when we pulled up here, they had our eyes right to the camera, waiting for their big debut, and they made their debut. Brent, thank you for helping us out today. We appreciate it. In the meantime, we're going to return it back to the studio to find out what else is coming up on North Dakota.